President Trump is now saying that he will pause migration from all third world countries amid this deadly National Guard shooting that happened last week.
The suspect in the shooting was an Afghan national who worked with the CIA during the war and came to the U.S. during its withdrawal from the Middle Eastern nation.
Trump wrote in a lengthy Truth Social post, "I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who's a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization." He continued, quote, "These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation."
The Wall Street Journal's editorial board went viral on X this week. The board wrote in part, quote, "Tens of thousands are building new lives here in peace and are contributing to their communities. They shouldn't be blamed for the violent act of one man. Collective punishment of all Afghans in the U.S. won't make America safer, and it might embitter more against the United States."
Yeah, and I think that's particularly resonant here because the alleged attacker seems to be just insane. As I went over in my radar, it was not. It doesn't seem, and I was looking out for this, that he was insufficiently vetted, right? That he had harbored anti-American views that should have been caught before he was brought to the country. He worked with the CIA to track down the Taliban.
Right.
It sounds like he's gone crazy. Subsequently, he doesn't speak to his children. He takes random trips across the country. He does crazy person things. I don't know under what system of immigration you could possibly catch someone who develops a mental illness later. That could happen to someone not just from the third world. That could happen to someone coming here from France or Sweden or the UK or wherever. It could happen to someone who just lives here. It doesn't seem, and I can hear the skepticism of conservatives, but it just doesn't seem to be tethered to his status as an immigrant or as an Afghan national. So I'm not sure this makes the best case for doing that. Now, I certainly agree with parts of what Trump said in terms of, yes, I don't want to bring people here who are incompatible with Western civilization or who mean us harm. More scrutiny, more vetting, that's absolutely perfectly fine. If there are illegal aliens here undermining our country or harming us or stealing welfare benefits, as we're going to go over in a bit, get them all out, that's fine. But yes, I agree with the Wall Street Journal that we shouldn't practice collective punishment for Afghani refugees.
And this is not the right response to match the moment, I think. Like when you say more vetting, this alleged criminal who shot the National Guard members was vetted. And so this is not an appropriate response. In June, this is not the first time the president has done this. So in June, you remember he released a travel ban covering 19 countries, including Afghanistan. And so that still also, things like that don't change the response of somebody coming here, and as leadership has said, that they were radicalized once they got here. So what happens when somebody comes to the U.S. and 10, 15, 20 years later? And also another, for the numbers part of it, the Associated Press reports that there are 50 million foreign-born residents in the U.S. And studies found that immigrants are generally way less likely to commit crimes than people that are actually born here. But that's a large number. I know we always talk about it, like obviously there's less immigrants than people that live here, but their numbers don't match to what U.S. crimes are being committed based on per capita. And so if we're looking at collectively punishing millions for the acts of a select few or even one in this instance, to me that's not the correct response. When people and migrants come here and actually give to our economy. Migrants come here and work. Immigrants come here and work a variety of jobs that we talk to when we talk about Trump's issues that he's pushing forward and how that's affecting migrants and migrant labor and big businesses in this country. And so I don't think that this is the correct response. I think this is a scared response, and it doesn't make our country look great when a lot of people are living here and productive members of our society. The White House has launched a new feature called Media Offender of the Week. I'm going to dive into that in my lens. Stick around.